us on Season 9, Episode 4, where we watch Beast Games, Season 1, Episode 1, and you could win $5 million. I'm Chris Lorenz.
There's a lot of clowns that just want to donate the money. I'm buying jet skis and gold chains. This is Brian.
Welcome to Beast City. This is Noah Singer.
I want to live in the city. This is Max.
Those were all quotes from this week's show. But last week we had a poll up on X, which I'm going to go pull up right now because I did not pull it up. In the meantime, Noah, what did we watch this week?
1,000 contestants compete in physical, mental, and social challenges for a chance to win a $5 million cash prize. Contestants use their strength and wit to stay in the game with the hope of being the multi-million-dollar winner. That is Beast Games on Prime Video.
Thank you, Noah. But last week we watched the Joe Schmo Show 2025, and we had a poll, and you guys voted a middle third show. Middle third.
I want to catch up on that.
Really?
You might want to.
Yep. On the Schmo?
I love the OG. Well, Noah, you famously have really bad takes. So
famously, though, it's all right.
So this show is like there's some controversy around the show, but Mr. Beast, he has game shows on YouTube all the time, and this is his first real game show on a streaming network, a real network. I don't know.
I think so.
Some sort of real thing on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. And,
one person gets to win $5 million.
Supposedly. We got to see how it ends, but.
I mean, they keep saying it's like the biggest prize.
Yeah.
There's also a private island and a Lamborghini involved.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, the show starts out with letting people split $1 million if they leave right away. And that seems pretty like you're giving away $1 million right then to give $5 million at the end. I mean, why not?
I mean, they're giving away a lot of money in the show. Like, I'm sure they'll give a tally at the end, but it seems like it will be at least $10 million in total. Like, or at least like put that up, right? Like, they've banked some cash for this.
Well, they said they gave away $2 million in this episode alone.
Yeah. So I gotta say, I don't think I've ever really watched a Mr. Beast YouTube video. Is this like his shtick but on steroids? Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, a bit. Like he'll sometimes do it like for like a helping reason. It's like, oh, I'm gonna help people get surgery. Sometimes it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna destroy shit for shits and giggles and give this away. But yeah,
does he ever do like pitting 100 blind people against each other to get cataract surgery?
I mean, maybe that's his next one. I hope so.
Maybe.
No, I definitely thought his vibe was more like fun and wholesome, like not like evil and like bum fights.
Well, that's a really stark contrast to this show then, because this kind of feels like it's in trying to embody classic Squid Games, but then it's like, well, is that like still the feel good? I don't know.
The age-old classic Squid Games.
Yeah.
I've seen like part of one where they had this giant circle and they had like, I don't know how many people inside the circle. And like the last one in the circle won like $1 million or something. So there's a lot of like him coming in and giving incentives for people to like leave the circle, similar to this show.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure he's like wholesome, but he's like, this is kind of his thing.
Well, I guess like where he doesn't seem to be taking advantage of people really down on their luck. Like he's definitely manipulating for sure, but like very willful manipulation than like finding people who like have no other place to go, seemingly.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he does that. I haven't seen him do that in the circle or this episode. People really wanted to win the money this
Yeah.
episode, but
Yeah, it's like they're playing the game. Yeah. So I think you touched it. Like this is very much Squid Games without death. At least in episode 1, there's no death.
you don't know what
imagine,
happens when
yeah.
they drop. You don't know what happens when they drop.
Yeah.
That's true. They could have died.
This could have been some sort of prestige situation.
That's
Spoilers
right.
for the prestige.
In case
Damn it, I was gonna watch that.
Yeah, so let's go what happens in this episode. So they have 1,000 people and they have 10 minutes to decide if they want to eliminate themselves and split $1 million with everyone else who eliminates themselves right then.
Yeah.
And 52 people chose to eliminate themselves and they all split $20,000.
Well, they each get 20,000. That's how they split.
Yeah, sorry. They all split $1 million, they get 20,000.
Which very nice payday. Like for being on a show, probably for like a 2 days, right? Like realistically, taping and everything. Like it's great. $10,000 a day.
I bet you everybody who did not take this in the first place regrets it.
Maybe the person that wins $5 million won't regret it.
No, but
There
like,
are. Go ahead.
Like, I don't know if you guys, I forgot doing these like math problems, right? Where it's like the probability of winning something, and you do like the like adjusted risk return,
The
like
expected value.
Thank you, Max. Yeah, like I'd imagine the 20,000 is like the best payoff, right? It's like
I don't think so. $5 million, that's way more than $20,000. I don't care. I don't really care if it takes you a month.
Well,
That's-
so if
Oh,
you
and
want
you're
to do
saying the
math,
expected value of the 1,000 people, like $20,000 is good? I don't know.
I'll let Max explain.
Chris, the expected value so at the end of this episode, there are 500 people remaining competing for $5 million. The expected value is 5 mil divided by 500, so 10K. So 20K is a great deal.
I'm not sure exactly how that lines up. You got to add the private island and the car to that.
It's also
value as
unclear
well.
that the private island and the car are going to the winner.
No, they're not going to the winner.
So Katie and I have watched like the entire thing. Do you want spoilers at all?
No. I want to watch it, so
Okay.
please don't do it. Also, is everything released yet, or are they still dropping episodes?
They're still dropping it. Yeah, like they're dropping every Thursday.
There are 8 episodes.
Hashtag ad.
Yeah. So these people win $20,000. That's fine. That's good. That's a good number, especially since the next game here, they have each like column is a team, and there's about 80 people in a column.
I mean, we haven't even described what the set looks like. We're just talking about a column of people.
A column of people. There's 80 people in a column. So that means there's 80 rows.
It got down to 80, right? I think it started out at 10 columns with 100 people, or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably about right. Because you have 1,000 people, 10 by 10, and they're all like standing on kind of like a platform, and they all have a light under them. So like if you're blue, you're good. If you're red, you're no good. So like they essentially is a series of games, and it's called Beast Games, and you get eliminated based on the rules. So the first rule was the like eliminate yourselves. The second game is each column has to have somebody eliminate themselves, and when they do, the rest of the column moves on, and the last 3 columns just get eliminated that don't have somebody eliminate themselves.
This was maybe my least favorite game. What
I just
is
don't
it
even
for
understand
you
it.
to sacrifice yourself unless there's only 1 or 2 columns remaining? Who's the first person slamming that button?
Yeah.
I couldn't understand the whole self-sacrifice thing. Like, I really just don't get it.
Especially when like there's no connection between these like 80 people. Like there's no like I'm going to do it for you, Joe, your dad's got cancer or whatever it might be. You know, it was just like eliminate yourself because you want them to continue. These people you don't know.
The only thing I was thinking about, unless they thought it was going to be like a trick, it's like, oh, everyone that self-sacrificed actually, you know, you end up later in the game, or you get some prize, right? It's like, because you don't know how far the social psychology goes. Otherwise, yeah, it's very unusual.
Especially since you could have just eliminated yourself and won, almost $20,000 probably.
Right, nuts.
That's why they all kick themselves.
What they chose to eliminate themselves.
Yeah, like I mean, it's silly, but
I mean,
guess
they
all
only
just
needed what? They only needed like 7 people to eliminate themselves, right? So
I still am confused by that. Like, there's some like maybe like savior thing in these people's minds. Like, I don't know. It still confuses the hell out of me.
anyway, yep. So then after that game, there's 705 players left. And then I think this is the best game they had. They had like a box with a bunch of blocks in them, and they had to stack all the blocks in 10 minutes. And the first 100 people to have their stack fall over were eliminated. So it was pretty entertaining to watch them put the blocks up, and then like when their block fell, the reaction shots were amazing. Thought they were great.
And it feels like the room's like dead silent while they're all working on their little children's towers. I feel like we've passed over a very large component of this. It brings back something that was first introduced to reality TV via the hit Love Trap, where if you get eliminated, you fall through a trap door. They have 1,000 functional trap doors on this set. I am genuinely shocked by the production quality of this show.
Yes, so it is insanely high. Like, they go out of their way to talk about they have like 1,100 cameras going on this show and all the editing.
A world record.
Yeah, I need to go back to it. I started listening to Mr. Beast or Jimmy Donaldson's interview with Theo Vaughn.
Sorry, wait, that's his real name?
Jimmy Donaldson.
Huh. I see why it goes by Mr. Beast.
Yeah, his name is James Stephen, quote unquote, Jimmy Donaldson. The dude's only 26 years old, which is nuts. I feel like he's been famous for a long time. But anyway, he was talking about this, like the scale of production of all this stuff. I need to go back to it, but yeah, they didn't seem to cut corners and making this happen. Like, definitely respect the game here.
Respect the game, yeah. So this these trap doors, it was amazing. They did like a drop slightly after each other, so it was kind of like a domino drop. That was really cool. And then they did a drop all at once, which was also really cool to see 80 people just go woof.
Very cool. Yeah. Very, very cool.
Very much appreciated.
Some
I just kind of
minutia.
want to ride that.
Yeah, it looks super fun. Minutia, there are active lawsuits against Beast Games.
What?
Yeah, for mistreatment, including sexual harassment, lack of medical care, inadequate food, unpaid expenses and wages, and misrepresentation about the number of contestants on the show. So, allegations.
I did say that there was something going on with controversy with the show in the beginning of the episode.
Oh, interesting. So the plaintiffs allege that they were told the competition would involve 1,000 participants, which was later revealed to them to mean 1,000 on the televised show out of an initial 2,000.
Whoa.
Interesting. So there was a game before the game.
Unclear. I have to go look at like the details of the lawsuit. There's luckily a Wikipedia about the law, specifically the lawsuit, its own article, which is helpful. But yeah, fascinating.
Max, your microphone's like doing something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you, but it's like just making some noise.
All right, I'll use mute.
That's yeah. So back to the block challenge as Noah figures out his internet corner for us. Yeah, it was. I think it was really tense to watch all these people get eliminated, and then they showed like the behind the scenes room, which we got to see the behind the scenes room last week, which was really cool. And this is like NASA level behind the scenes. Like they must have like 50 people watching all these cameras.
Oh,
Like,
at least.
insane.
Yeah. Well, if they have 1,000 cameras, right? And let's say a person feasibly could watch like maybe like 5 to 10 of them at once, right? Each feed. Like, because they have to look for all like the gaming stuff, like, you know.
I don't know. I mean, do you need to like they spent time to figure out whose blocks fell first? So like, you don't have to actively watch all 1,100 at once. Like,
That's a good point. Yeah.
You just review it later in post.
Yeah. But yeah, it's probably like 50, 75, maybe 100 tops.
yeah, this is insane. And last week they had like 10 people, maybe.
No, yeah. They are throwing down. They are spending money.
It is an insane amount of money. Like, there's no way this like is making prime any money here. It's almost like you're spending like 2 or 3 episodes of Rings of Power here for this whole show, or even more. It's like a lot.
Well, I guess like, I mean, the Rings of Power is like super extreme, right, in cost. But imagine it a like marquee show on a streaming platform. I'd imagine it's probably 15 to 20 million for a season. Like,
but this show costs more than that. He said the city itself cost him 15 million. He's giving away 5. He already gave away 2 million.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're looking at like $30 million.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Let me go see how much like a top tier show costs.
But like, there's no way this show's pulling in like Game of Thrones level viewership to like make it worth Game of Thrones level money.
That I don't know. Like, Mr. Beast is one of the top YouTubers, if maybe the top. Like, his audience is massive. I would not be shocked he can bring in more than Rings of Power.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, people watch it on YouTube. I guess they'd watch it here. I don't know.
I mean, also, Rings of Power has notoriously been kind of flopping.
I didn't say Rings of Power on purpose.
I thought you did say that's what you said.
I said it the first time, but the second time I said Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. GOT. It's probably a close run, but I don't know. He has one of the biggest followings. I think that's hard to argue against. Like, as far as like if that's valuable to fund someone that can bring that audience.
I mean, clearly Amazon thought it was a good idea.
Totally. Yeah.
All right. So after all these stacks, they eliminated 100 people. So there's 605 players left. The next game, every row is a team. And then they are given a choice of a bribe at a certain dollar amount. And if anyone in that row takes the bribe, everyone in that row is eliminated. But the person that took the bribe gets the bribe money. So there's they start at 10,000, then 20,000, then they go to 50,000, 80,000, and then finally 100,000.
I did like that this was kind of an inversion of that first game, and this one the motivations made much more sense.
Totally. Yeah. And it was interesting, like, getting the rows to like actually stick together. They had to act pretty quick to build that relationship.
I just
Right.
don't
There's
understand
probably
how
like 10 people per row, 8 people per row.
Yeah. And like to give viewers at home or the listeners, like they're not in close proximity, all 8 people. Like people next to you can talk to, but not a hop over. They're too far away.
Yeah, because they're all in these boxes that have that drop trap doors on them. So yeah. So what bribe would you have taken, Brian?
I probably would have taken one of the end ones. Like once I saw that like he's still increasing the money and like people aren't like actually taking it. Okay, no matter what, I would be out in this first episode because there's no way I'm winning that 5 million, and I would be taking something where like I'm pulling away like a decent amount of money. So I don't know whether I would have gone out the first game or not, but if I got to here, then I would definitely be taking a bribe.
That's what I told Christina. Is like I'd probably be out the first game. Like this sounds like too much work. I'm just gonna leave right away.
Well, that 100,000, like obviously it's hard to predict anything. Like even the 20,000 seems wonderful, but like yeah, once it gets to 100,000, it's like bro, come on.
Yeah, I feel like the strategy for this game is you have to agree with your row. Nobody hit this before like 50K. Beyond that, who knows? But you'll know what it'll max out at. But you
I
want to
do.
get the best deal possible.
I do think the $5 million would be more life changing than 100,000. Like obviously, but
Yeah,
some
one's
people
like
100,000 would be more life changing than 100,000 to me. At this point is from what I'm trying to get at. But so I don't know. I feel like I would be hard not to take the $100,000 bribe for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe there's some camaraderie with my row. For like, let's do it. We got to get to this city, Beast City.
Beast City, bitch. Beast City, bitch.
But like, this is your last time to make money before you're stuck in Beast City for a month. Like, that's a long time. Like, I don't know if I want to be in Beast City for a month.
Right, and at that point, you have no idea what Beast City is. Like, I'm sure they watched the Beast videos and they probably got a sense it'd be fine. But even still, they're like dorm beds. Like, you're sleeping next to people that are going to snore really loud. Like, fuck that, you know? Like,
Noah's definitely not winning this $5 million.
I mean, I wouldn't mind
Not
being
a
in
chance.
Beast City for a month. If I might just sleep outside. Like, I think they shot this in Arizona or something. Like,
Just take your cot outside.
yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about this city. It's pretty amazing what they built. You said it was like
It's true.
15 million.
They said 15 million.
Yeah.
It's like they have like these 2 giant like parking garages kind of that are like pretty tall concrete buildings, and like Mr. Beast is always at the top talking to everyone. And like we see in this episode, like all the people like come into the city, and then Mr. Beast gives them some sort of rousing speech like in Independence Day.
Hmm.
And he says that they're going to be there for a month, but half of the people will be eliminated in the next game. So they're going from 493 people down to 248 people, or whatever, 47.
Actually,
whatever.
stand corrected. They shot this in Toronto.
Yeah, so you're not outside. That's what you're telling me.
Nah, I don't think
No.
so. No.
I mean,
They
in the
got
summer, could be too hot. Doesn't
Dude,
seem
Arizona,
like winter.
Arizona summer, you'd be melting. You have to be inside. So yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, Arizona in like the winter though, it'd be cold because you'd be in the desert.
It was filmed in August in Toronto, and the first one was done at a stadium in Las Vegas. Just the first episode.
But then that island is in Panama that they're giving away. It's part of the Pearl Island, so they go a bit all over. Vegas, Toronto, Panama.
I
I
guarantee you there's
feel
one thing I don't want, and it's that goddamn island. Don't want it.
I'd hope the island comes with like one free flight to it per year or something.
Well, it's like, okay, how you gonna pay taxes on this island? Like, and you're gonna get all this stuff to the island. Is there a house on the island? Like, I don't want to be in the middle of nowhere island by myself. Like, no thanks. I
No,
have to bring all
totally.
my
Like,
food with me. Forget it. I don't want a private island.
yeah, like Wi-Fi, bathrooms.
Nothing. Like, you don't need a trash service. Like, do you have a septic system? Like, what? Like, forget this noise.
Trash service.
Like, you gotta take the trash with you.
No,
I
just
definitely
throw it in the
agree.
ocean.
You just burn it. You burning
No.
all this trash.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing you do is like resell it. Like that's the only thing. You know, you take probably a 50% haircut to get rid of it quick. You know, because there's probably are taxes involved with it. You know, so then
God.
like you're like, oh, you have $100,000 in taxes this year, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ, you know, like
And how does Panama work with this? Like, can like foreign nationals have an island in Panama? Like,
I thought Panama's part of the U.S. now.
no, only the canal.
Just a canal. Okay,
Come on.
yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Let's see. Anything else? They definitely on the like this season on. They talked about like monster trucks. There's some sort of Navy SEAL thing with a private island.
Uh, you have to escape the Navy SEALs hunting you down.
Yeah.
I wonder what that does that entail, like a paintball gun or like like some sort of sleep darts.
No idea. Particularly crazy is the one that's like, will you see your friends get eliminated by a train? And there's just a clip of a train barreling towards two people standing on tracks.
Then they show like the same clip again, and it's like two dummies.
Right.
So
Yeah. They clarify. They're not
Come
killing.
on. We still don't know if it could just be a demo. They could still be dying.
It's true. Could be really Squid Game in it, right? Then, you know.
Could be. Could be.
All right, should we get to questions? I feel like that's all the minutia we got. Do we know more about this lawsuit yet?
No,
There's
I
like-
didn't look much more into it. I just think I think the jerseys are pretty cool. I like those jerseys.
Well, that's one of us.
I mean, they're jerseys.
I think we should probably talk about how obviously this apes the aesthetics of Squid Games.
Well, the first game, I mean, it's not a direct copy of Squid Game. Like Squid Game is a lot more like pastel colors and like has a unique look to it. This definitely has like the like we're playing a game with a lot of people and eliminating them. But
Before he made this show, he made a YouTube video that's like 500 people playing real life Squid Games, is his word for it. And like, you know, all the assistants on this show have goofy looking masks and all look the same. They all are wearing jerseys with numbers on the back. Like, it's very, very clearly inspired.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was the trial run. And it's like, oh, I can pitch this to Amazon and make my money.
is he making a lot of money here?
He's gotta be. Like,
He's building his brands. You think my mom knows what Mr. Beast is? No, but she's probably seen an ad for this and said, wow, that looks stupid, but building his brand.
I mean, it's definitely inspired by Squid Game. I'll give you that. Like, it's got all the elements of Squid Game. It just doesn't have the look of Squid Game. That's what is really what I'm getting at. Like, Squid Game has a very distinctive look to it, like colors wise, where this doesn't have that, but it does have the same like vibe of Squid Game, if that makes any sense. Where there's, you know, people get eliminated, they have the like weird mask thing, they have like, I don't know, really good elimination shots. They're all on like they're all black. They all have like the same wearing the same thing. Like, but that comes with everything.
There's also a lot of psychological stuff in this, just like Squid Games. I mean, it's all. It's just basically friendly Squid Games, but at least I think it's better than the Netflix one.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, because it's its own creativity, right? Like instead of just like how well are they gonna like recreate it, right? It's their own
Yeah.
thing.
But Mr. Beast are remade Squid Game too.
I
I
know.
wonder which one. I wonder
I
which
saw
one's
that.
better, the Netflix remake or the Squid Game remake or the Mr. Beast remake.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there's like a whole like Beast universe. You probably like if we did the show, if we knew about it, we would take it in, right? And then you.
The Beastiverse. I know that he has like a town in North Carolina where he makes all his employees live.
That's
Uh,
nuts.
yeah, there's definitely been some negative stories about Mr. Beast's town in North Carolina.
I mean, like the employees have to live in the town or they work in the town. Like that's
No, they have to live in the town and work in the like.
Hmm.
I don't know the legalities of how that works, but that's what I was told when I watched some YouTube video. There's some video about somebody leaving and like making some hit piece about Mr. Beast, and that's when I learned about all this stuff.
Is that any different than like any other job? It's like, hey, you just have to move here to work here.
I think you have to like live in one of Mr. I don't know if you have to live in one of Mr. Beast's house, but I think it's like an option. It's more like a
He has
corporate town.
he bought out a neighborhood for his employees in Greenville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be
So
interesting to read about it. Like what's actually going on. Like, did he just make it more affordable to live there? You know, or like, or it's like you have, yeah, it's like it's kind of got to figure out what that's about.
all right, who's the worst human being? And why is it Mr. Beast?
I
Is he
think it's
just
the
flaunting
person who. It might be the person who sold out their team for 10K.
That's the worst person.
Well, I thought someone didn't eliminate at 10K. I thought it was only 20K. Did somebody eliminate at 10K?
Maybe you're right.
I think
In 20K, I understand.
yeah, like I actually think it's less about the money in that instance, but more of like who told their row, like I'm with you, and then pop.
There was one guy that did that, and that's who I was going to eliminate. That's who I was going to
Yeah.
suggest. It's like he's like, no one touch it, and then he touches it. I think he eliminates himself at 50K or something.
Yeah, like
Actually, I have to change my vote. During the first like sacrifice game, the people fucking yelling at their neighbors to do it when they're not doing it are the worst.
that too.
They were pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's game theory, man. You gotta do it.
Yeah, that's bad. It's like
I don't agree.
do it. Yeah,
All right, would this show be better as a Quibi or TikTok? And I don't think so.
no,
The pacing on this was phenomenal.
yeah.
Agreed.
Like this is how it's like when you spend your whole lives making like YouTube
Content.
video, right? Like they knew how to make this show.
Yeah.
All right.
And you know what? I hate to say it. He's a good host. He's not trying to make dumb jokes. He's just kind of to the point.
Yeah, I think he did a very good job.
He like interviews like the people that get eliminated, which is usually pretty good. Like just like to get that soundbite from the people, why they did something, it works well.
Yeah. I watched. I'm in like the middle of the third episode, I think, at this point. He has like sidekicks. They're not as good. They just kind of do like these like really poor catchphrase type things, like "I can't believe that happened" or "Oh my god, it's 5 minutes left," and it's just like no value.
This is one of the only episodes of Who Put This On where I put out drinking rules ahead of time on my notes, and that was my first one. Drink anytime you hear a classic YouTube line. Oh my god, this is crazy! You're just gonna get fucking blackout.
Yeah.
I
Remember,
feel
there's $5 million on the line.
as for my drinking rule, I feel like you have to make some sort of bet for every game, like how many people are going to get eliminated, or pick like somebody on the team and root for them, and if they get eliminated, like you drink stuff like I think that would be fun. That would really take this to the next level.
Yeah, I like that. Like, yeah, I think along the lines like whenever there's a game, like you got to play the game, and that's how like
It's like, Brian, you better not touch that fucking button, Brian. Do not touch that fucking button.
or just like make your bets, right? Like you play along.
Yeah.
Super fun.
If you can play the game, you should play it. Like if it's like how long can you stand on one foot, like a Survivor-esque challenge.
Hmm.
But I do think betting on people sounds more fun. Sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Max, do you have a drinking rule?
Every time somebody falls down a hole, take a shot.
Now we're not. Now you're really killing people.
Yeah.
Down that it literally, and every time that happens, you have to say down the hatch.
Down.
All right. Now our favorite question: what speed did Max watch this show at? Noah, what do you got?
Easy one. Easy one. This is a 1Xer.
Brian?
I'm gonna save us some time. It's one.
Oh,
This is a
what
good
are you
show.
doing,
Oh,
Max? I was gonna say one because I think you're at your girlfriend's house, and I feel like you have less control over speed at her house.
Nope, I am at my house and I watched it at my house.
Okay, so I would have been wrong on that front. But do you have the Amazon ad free system? How does speeding up work? If you have ads?
Any service I've used that has speed control, that the ads are their own separate thing and they always run at 1x and then you're back to your thing.
Okay. All right, let's do ratings where we do a stack ranking system between top, middle, and bottom third. Brian, what do you got?
this is an easy top third. It might be the top of the top, but I'm like, yeah, I think it's got to be top of the top considering I'm keeping up with it weekly. Like it's up there along with like Severance, which I also watch weekly.
Noah, what do you?
It's up there with Severance is one of the craziest things I've heard.
No, like I mean, but it's one of those things where I'm keeping up with it, and it's like it's not like the same thing.
Okay.
It's just
Okay. You talked me off the cliff.
Max was about to fly to Seattle to punch you in the gut. No
Oh my
way.
God.
Noah, what do you got?
Yeah, I think this is one of the best shows we've watched on this show we make. Who put this on? It's like one of the only shows where I was pretty quick to be like, wow, I want to watch more. And like, I'm not on my phone the whole time. Like I'm watching it. Like, yeah, it's really entertaining. Like the pacing's good. And it's like surprising that the pacing's good because there's so much of these social psychology things and like they do show people crying, but it's like they literally just do it to like one notch below you saying, okay, this is too much crying or like too much of this. So yeah, this is top of the top. Very good show.
Max, what do you got?
Easy top third. Does it stay as good as episode 1, Brian?
Yeah.
I'll give it middle of the top. I just, obviously there are some games I have some qualms with, but yeah, it was really good, really well done.
Yeah, I'll give it a top of third as well. I don't think it's quite top of the top. We'll go middle. Middle, sure, we'll go with middle of the top, I
Great
guess.
choice.
Um, yeah, I think the pacing is really well. I think it's interesting. Like they had like 5 games in this episode, which is like really quick, and some of them were entertaining to watch. Some weren't. Like if they didn't have like that weird one where somebody had to eliminate themselves for no reason, like I feel like that would have been better. Like as like that game just kind of rubs you the wrong way. But so I assume some of the other games will be better. Trying to win that private island, see who wins.
That PI.
I think it'll be more interesting when they get down to like enough people where you might be able to know who they are, and because like right now though you don't get that human personal story. It's really just like watching randos play game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's going to have to be that way for a while because you still have 500 people. Even if you take half those people away, that's still way too many people. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see. Anyway, that's what we thought of the show. Tell us what you thought about the show on facebook.com/on, and you can vote in our poll on x.com. Now, Brian, do you have any shout outs this week?
I mean, this is the show that I've been keeping up with. I saw that like Taskmaster did a live thing in New York for like their premiere, and they released a trailer too. And I'm anxious for this season. I cannot wait for it to start.
Yes.
Yeah, Jason Mantzoukas, love him. Rafi, favorite character of all time.
Oh yeah,
Pretty good.
So good. Noah, you have any shout outs this week?
Yeah, I wrapped up Industry on Max, the one to watch. It's season 4 of Industry, so it's like not a new series, but this is the latest season. If you haven't caught up on Industry, like I feel like it's the most like under the radar Severance quality show. Like Severance is kind of, I think it's probably gonna be, it's like on the edge of like giving its own like territory, but it's like it's just very well done. So yeah, recommend Industry.
I'm like in the towards the end of season 2, and it's kind of dragging, but I really liked season 1.
Yeah, I kind of felt that season 4 was pretty well done. So I
Cool.
stick with it. I forget what season 3 was about.
Max, you got any shout outs?
Since I've last been on the pod, my girlfriend has gotten really into Taskmaster, so we watched New Zealand season 2. I rewatched UK season 7, which is like James at Acaster and that crew. Started New Zealand season 4, pretty good so far.
Taskmaster. I'm in the middle of Australia season 4.
Jesus Christ, I literally didn't know there's an Australia.
oh yeah.
It's a continent below Japan. Kind
Below what? Below what? Below Asia? You could say next to New Zealand because he just mentioned New Zealand.
How about you, Chris?
I started the new Spider-Man animated show on Disney Plus. It's pretty good. I'm a big Spider-Man like animated or like live action fan. So I'm excited to see where this goes. That's my show this week.
The theme song is amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good. My kids like it, and I'm like, it's just good. It's just good. It's
All
from
right.
Fallout Boy.
It's like a riff on it's like a remake of the original Spider-Man theme song. It takes like it's like starts there and then just kind of like melts into his own. It is very good. I agree.
Yeah, you should listen to the album, the Spidey Friends album. It's kind of like reminds me of the American Idiot Broadway show. Like it's this like rock kind of like Broadway feel. Most songs that are bangers. Like it's just a good album made for 7-year-olds.
Yeah. I mean, the show I feel like has a broad range. Like you could probably watch it from 7 to adult. Like
I would say I've never seen the show actually. They only listen to the songs.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Spidey and Friends, which is made for like toddlers.
Mm.
This one's like he's in high school, so it's not like it's
Oh.
old. He's in high school.
Oh, maybe I'm talking about a different show because there's another like Spidey and his amazing friends with like Ghost Spider, Spin.
Yeah, that's the toddler show.
Oh, that's one of the
This
banger
is your
songs.
friendly neighborhood Spider-Man
Uh,
on Disney Plus.
oh, actually, I got to listen to that music then. I don't know what that is.
Maybe it's not quite as a banger as you're talking about.
Mm.
Your toddlers don't watch the show; they just listen to
No.
the music.
Yeah, because it's like an age 7 show, and like even some of the young stuff, they're like, "Oh, that was a little scary." So they're like, "Okay, we'll keep it pretty tame."
What is up with kids these days? Can't be scared. Come on.
It is funny that I do like. They're like, "Oh yeah, I was scared by that." And it's like very serious. I'm like, "Oh, it's good to know." All right.
Are they on the severance floor? Like, these numbers scared me. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't talk about what we're watching next week, so we'll put it in the show description. Look there. So tell us what you thought about this show and give us suggestions at Who Put This On. You can find us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On. You can email questions and suggestions at whoputthison@gmail.com. See you guys next time.